there, fellow sojourners, and welcome back to another edition of Appropriate in the Culture. On today's episode, we tell the tale of handmaids and the radical 4B movement. I'm Pastor Shane. I'll be shaving heads today as we appropriate some culture. So The Handmaid's Tale is a novel by Margaret Atwood set in a dystopian future, am I right, fellas, in which the United States government has been overthrown by Islam. Sorry, not Islam, wink wink nudge nudge, a religious sect that establishes a totalitarian patriarchal state known as the Republic of Iran, Gilead, and the handmaids are women forced into burqas, hijabs, Puritan robes, and they are assigned to produce children for the ruling class of Gilead, and even though the book came out in 1985, which coincidentally is not that far removed from certain events that happened in the late days of the 1970s, the story has recaptured the imaginations of cat ladies everywhere with the release of the Hulu television series and its parallels to modern times. And I'm not talking about Afghanistan, I'm talking about the United States of America. In this election, a New Jersey woman cosplayed her way to a polling place, and when asked why she was dressed in her Halloween costume, she said, quote, "I am emotional because this is not a film, this is not a series, this is not a show, this is actually reality." Truer words have never been spoken. You are emotional. The rest is deeply untethered to reality. You're a handmaiden like this guy's Iron Man. But the New Jersey maiden wasn't alone. In Asheville, North Carolina, another lady showed up decked out in the chase garb. And those costumes are flying off the shelves, the most popular size being the XXL and the XXXL. Now ladies, I don't want to be cruel and suggest that you're delusional in your fear-mongering, and I don't know about the particularities of the men at Gilead, but I'm not sure that you'd be the prime candidates for handmaidens. But make no mistake, no matter what Trump told you, we are in The Handmaid's Tale.
So it looks like all the white women who voted for Trump are about to find out what Serena Joy went through when they cut off her little finger in The Handmaid's Tale. Because Trump's buddies are all over social media saying, hey, guess what? We are going to enact Project 2025, and Trump has just promised us all spots in his administration. Joke's on you. So have fun with that one, ladies, because we told you so. And when you are bleeding out in an emergency room, when they take away your right to vote, all of these things that are about to happen to you, they're not going to ask you who you voted for. They're not going to ask you what you thought about Project 2025 and you really thought it was Agenda 47 and that's not what Trump told you. They're not going to care one little bit because we're all going down with the ship. Okay? Because this country couldn't elect a woman president. They especially couldn't elect a woman of color. So instead, you put a man in office who's guilty of assault, who's a felon, because you'd rather carry water for the white men in your life.
Oh man, are you gonna feel stupid, ladies? Trump is gonna take away your right to vote. And yes, he didn't do that the last time he was president, I know, because I voted in my Handmaid's Tale outfit this year, but that was all part of the plan. Don't suspend the Constitution in your first term. What is this, amateur hour? Run for a second term, lose, get forced out of office, wait a good 4 years, then you got them right where you want them, run again, release the details of your super evil scheme in Project 24, and make sure that that super evil scheme is readily available and public, then win the election, expanding your electorate, including with women in decisive fashion. It's foolproof. I mean, it's so obvious. It's right there. You're going to feel so stupid. But other ladies are not so naive. They know what time of day it is, and they got a plan. Step 1, shave your head.
You don't hear
Take that, patriarchy. But ladies, joke's on you, because we really can't see your hair under the bonnets. You gotta think, ladies. But for people who don't quite grasp what cutting off your nose to spite your face means, thinking may not be their strong suit.
TV. Do it. Do it.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah. That
Can I
TV
take
and
it?
that ball. Do it. I'll buy it.
Okay, maybe not that hard.
Okay, well,
Sorry,
I'll
sorry,
buy it.
Oh no, it's the consequences of my own actions. Who could have predicted? I'm starting to understand why abortion is so important to you, as clearly you can't foresee even the most plainly obvious outcomes of your intentional and deliberate behavior. Nevertheless, they persisted and came up with even more ingenious ways of protesting, the most popular being a sex strike.
I personally think that if all of these men are voting to take our rights away, they don't deserve to touch a woman for the next 4 years. So, hope you thought that through, you guys.
Trump is president, and I think all women should stop having sex for the next 4 years. In protest and protection of your bodies. As we know, if that little baby inside you gives you any trouble and you need an emergency health care, and you're gonna die. I think that is sufficient enough reason to stop having sex. Don't you agree? This vote wasn't a vote for Americans. This vote was for men. And unless we want to become the Handmaid's Tale, then us women need to protest, because this is so buttery. I'm sorry to the women and minorities who aren't going to get the help that they need in the next 4 years. I'm sorry for the people who are impoverished, who are just going to keep dying from starvation and lack of healthcare and lack of governmental support.
Baby, if you wanted to touch my body, you should have voted for it.
I didn't realize that was on the ballot. What proposition was that, 4B?
Not that my content reaches a lot of men because I have an IQ of 130, but I want the men in this country to know that half the female population, we're dry. We're probably gonna stay dry. I'm dry as a desert, baby, and I don't want it to change. Yeah, we're not gonna like you anymore. You understand that? Like, it doesn't matter if you take away abortion. Like, we'll want to have your babies even less, right? Even if you take away contraception, like, women are really good at celibacy because you guys are actually a threat to us. So we have a lot less to gain from you. So yeah, 4B all the way. Let's make some money, I guess. That's all we can do now.
4 years of no abortion sounds fantastic. Now, I'm one of those men, so I probably can't match wits with your 130 IQ. But if women really were so good at celibacy, then abortion shouldn't be such an important issue, since over 95% of abortions in this country are purely elective. Or to put it another way, abortions overwhelmingly are the result of women making bad decisions that they regret. The 4B movement is also a bad idea from the mind of women. It started in South Korea, and the 4 core tenets of the 4B movement are: no sex with men, no giving birth, no dating men, no marriage with men. Or to put it more succinctly, the core tenet of the 4B movement is societal death. That's it. It's just one tenet. You don't need 4. That's overkill, but you know women. Now, most people would tend to regard the death of civilization and the extinction of humanity as a bad plan, but not Kamala voters.
I understand. I've heard the message loud and clear. We all have. Now, women are going to have to just refuse to participate. Sorry, if you're a man, I will not be responding to you. If you are a man, I will not be talking to you. I am going to be promoting the 4B movement from here on out. I don't care. Got better scissors. My hair. Cutting it all off. Probably painting a target on my back here, but whatever. At least I live in a state right now that has civil rights still. Men, stop dating men. Stop having sex with men. Stop talking to men. Divorce your husbands. Leave your fucking boyfriends. Leave them.
Don't talk to men, don't date them, divorce them, and maybe bite them.
I am feral today. Feral!
If you see me, keep walking. Do not make eye contact. Do not square up at me. Don't act like you know me. Like, I want to eat, like, maybe they voted for Kamala, but, like, I want to eat them right now. Like, I want to take a bite out of those glutes in a bad way.
Bite them, but in a bad way. That lady is probably crazy in the bedroom. and the living room, and the car, and the street corner, and the office cubicle, because this lady is just crazy. But maybe not as crazy as this 4B queen.
Not sure why no one understands how I feel. You guys know that my husband turned Republican this term. I don't know why. I threw his ass out of the house. And I have to do more. I don't want to shave my head because that's going to hurt him. I'm going to look ugly. So I'm not doing that. I think I'm going to sleep with his friends. I think that's the only way. I think sleeping with his friends will do. What do you guys think? His liberal friends, of course.
Well, I think sleeping with his friends would hurt him more than shaving your head. But if you're worried about looking ugly, too late. But that's not the only weaponization of sexuality. They're also going to tease us.
I have decided that my personal revenge for this 2024 election fiasco is to be a menace to men on dating apps. I'm going to re-download probably just Tinder and Hinge and match up every single man. Say I'm down for hookups, give them a Google Voice number, talk with them, say, yeah, I'll come over. Yeah, I'm on my way. Yeah, I'm 5 minutes out. What do you mean? I'm here. Don't you see me? Guess what? I won't be there, and I'm gonna ruin your plans. Anytime you make plans with me, I will lie to you, stand you up, ghost you. I'm just gonna be a menace. Because why not? Men don't like women. I'm going to start actively practicing misandry. And that's my personal goal for 2024.
Those men dodged a bullet better than Trump. But all of these proposals pale in comparison to the serious and detailed plan of this handmade prepper.
I took the morning to grieve. That's all the time we have. Now is your time to start making a plan. Women, I'm here to talk to you today. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to delete your period tracking app. I don't care what state you're in. Go into your history, take out a paper planner, write down your history so that you have it, because I know that you track it, you use it to track ovulation and all of that stuff. You can't do that in an app anymore. Before you delete the app, you're going to delete your data out of the app. That's not a sure way to make sure that they can't use it against you later, but it helps.
Okay, so far so good. Step 1, keep a paper journal crazier than John Doe's from 7. And step 2?
Next thing you're going to do, you're going to get Plan B or its prescription equivalent. If you are comfortable getting the prescription, you can go to your doctor, and sometimes you can get it for free. That version, I think, is called Ella. And then if you are not comfortable or unable to do that with your doctor, go get Plan B in cash at your local pharmacy. I don't care if you don't need it right now, just keep it on your shelf. You're going to get on some form of birth control. You're going to get the pill, you're going to get the implant in your arm, you're going to get the IUD, you're going to get your tubes tied. I don't care if you're not sexually active right now, because guess what? That doesn't mean you're not going to get pregnant.
Step 2, birth control. You can get a prescription for it for free or just get it at any pharmacy. It's readily available, all kinds of options, so easy to do. Any idiot can get their hands on it. Wait, why is abortion the #1 issue again? Step 3.
The next thing you're going to do is you're going to follow creators like Jessica Valenti. She talks about abortion in her newsletter, Abortion Every Day. She is a godsend. I don't know how she does it. She is amazing. She will keep you educated on all of the things going on around abortion, not just abortion news, but news related to abortion. That stuff is going to be very important to you now. Whether you ever considered getting an abortion for yourself or not, this is vital information to you.
So, in your dystopian future, the government is going to be tracking your ovulation apps, but not who you're following on social media. I gotta say, I'm not sure this is the most well thought through. But let's hear the next step.
I'm sorry. It's your life. You do what you want. My advice to you for your safety is to not get pregnant right now. I am not going to get pregnant right now, even though I would love to have a family one day. That dream just went out the window forever unless I move to another country. I am not having a baby in the United States. I won't do it.
Hold on a second. If moving out of the country solves the problem, then step 1, move out of the country. End of steps. But apparently there's more steps.
If you and your male partner voted differently this election, if he voted for that man, you need to leave him. You need to leave him. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You need to leave him. I know you love him. I know you love him. I know you think he's going to change. I know you think he just doesn't understand your problems. I know that you think he's more concerned about the economy. But especially if you're married to him, you are in danger right now. You are in a lot of danger.
Now that's just sensible. It's like my marriage vows, for better or worse, in sickness and health, till voting differences part us. You are in danger. He punched the hole for Trump. You think he's just going to stop punching after he's got a taste for it? Divorce him! And of course, if you're not married, don't get married.
Speaking of marriage, I wouldn't get married right now. If you do, get a really, really strong prenup, but I can't promise you that that's going to be honored. I mean, I wouldn't be getting married right now. I would have your own bank account. I would have your own money. I would be saving that money. That's another thing. Save your money as much as you can right now. No frivolous spending. Be careful for the holidays. You need to be conserving your resources right now.
Yeah, this is a lifestyle that doesn't work well with marriage. It's like the Apostle Paul says, an unmarried man is concerned about the Lord's affairs, how he can please the Lord, but a married man is concerned about the affairs of this world, how he can please his wife, and his interests are divided. So too, if you want to live this lifestyle, you have to be fully committed to being crazy. But let's press on.
You're going to enroll in self-defense classes. You're going to get a personal trainer. You're going to carry. I don't know what that looks like for you, but you're going to do something to make sure that you can defend yourself so that you don't get graped in a dark parking lot.
First sensible thing she said, self-defense classes, concealed carry, sounds fine. Though I'm not sure why exactly you'd suddenly be more likely to be graped under a Trump administration. I mean, violent crime went up under the Biden administration. But facts and reason should not get in the way of a good plan, so let's finish this off.
You need to sit down with the people that you love and have a very serious conversation about, if A happens, then I'm going to do B. If this happens, then I'm going to do this. If it gets to this point, if this thing happens in the news, if this thing happens in Congress, if this thing happens by executive order, at that point I am going to blank. I don't know what that looks like for you, again, but you need to be thinking about these scenarios and have a plan in place.
So the plan is to have a plan, which I gotta say, is a good plan. But you want to know what's really funny about all this? That video was posted when Trump was elected in his first term. I'm kidding. But admit it, no matter what side of the aisle you're on, if you thought for a second that that video might have legitimately been posted in his first term, then you're acknowledging that this is all hysteria. The reality is the Constitution is not going to be amended. There's not enough votes to do that. Trump is going to do some good things. He's going to do some bad things. He's going to get some of the things he wants done and some things he's not going to be able to get done. And there will be another election in 2 years. The Democrats will probably do well because that's just how these things usually go. And in 4 years, Trump will be out of office. That's the sober reality. Everything else is cosplaying. Now, the reason for the cosplaying and the allure of it, I think, really stems from a crisis of meaning. Stories are meaningful. Narrative is inherently meaningful. That's why we rightly gravitate to it. There's heroes and villains, actions of note and consequence. It matters. It's important. Why say, my preferred candidate lost, when instead you can picture yourself as a resistance fighter, battling malevolent forces and standing in bold defense of human rights against those tyrannies? It makes you feel special, makes you feel important, gives meaning to your life. You cosplay to give meaning to your life because you've disconnected from the true source of meaning. And that's not bold or courageous or inspiring. It's just sad. All right, that'll do for today. As always, if you like what we're doing here, be sure to like, subscribe, tell a friend. If you want to support our films, you can go to atcfilms.com and enter your email in our support page. If you do, you'll receive more information about our mission and vision, updates on our fundraising efforts, details about our upcoming projects, and other ways you can support. You can also follow me on the major socials, join my author's Facebook page, and I'll see you next time for more Appropriating the Culture.